headlines: gunmen kill 3 in Anambra, set vehicles ablaze. Nigeria earmarks $1 billion for Ogoni land cleanup project. 13 Chinese and Pakistani workers died after accident on slippery mountain road. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Dashan Hussaina Usman. For more news and current happenings, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. In the news, House of Representatives has submitted to President Muhammadu Buhari report of its security summit held in May this year. Speaker of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, presented the report on Tuesday at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Addressing State House correspondents thereafter, the Speaker said both executive and legislative arms of government have been assigned specific roles to help address insecurity in the country.
And the report came out, which we have divided into recommendations for legislative action and recommendations for the executive. And as we said from day one, we will bring the report to Mr. President for action on the recommendations. And he has graciously accepted, which he did even before the summit. And we are hopeful and believe that many of the recommendations, both the legislative and the executive, once implemented, will go a long way to resolving some of the issues, if not all, some of the issues that pervade our society in terms of security.
An unidentified resident of Idemili North local government area of Anambra State has been abducted by gunmen who killed 3 policemen and set 3 vehicles ablaze. 2 other people were injured in the attack. Until the last attack, Anambra has enjoyed relative peace in the last couple of weeks. Senate has passed a bill seeking to establish Electoral Offences Commission to address electoral malpractices. This followed consideration of the report of its committee on INEC, chaired by Senator Kabiru Gaya. The bill provides for at least a 5-year jail term or fine of at least 10 million naira for electoral fraud by political executives. It also provides for 15-year imprisonment for ballot box snatching or unauthorized printing of ballot papers. The federal government says about $1 billion has been contributed by international oil companies for implementation of the Ogoni cleanup project. Dr. Muhammad Abubakar, Minister of Environment, disclosed this on Tuesday at a news briefing on Ogoni land cleanup organized by the ministry in Abuja. Abubakar explained that remediation of 21 lots of Phases 1 batch had been closed out while 17 lots had been completed by the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project. According to him, out of the 17 lots, 10 have been closed out by National Oil Spill Detection Agency, and certification sampling of 3 lots for closeout has been completed. Abubakar said the federal government had inaugurated the construction of 6 water schemes on March 22 in Buhari, Kana local government area of Ogoni land.
Over to the community have been certified by Nostra, the DG of whom he is sitting there. And this is our certification agency. When you clean up an impacted land, what you want is a competent body that will say, yes, this is clean, and the amount of hydrocarbon that you can find on that land or in water is one that is commensurate with what is acceptable worldwide. And to show you how diligent they are, 2 or 3 of those lots have been found to have slightly over, and they were returned to the contractor to make sure they are clean and whistle clean. After this 21 that have been awarded and being cleaned up, additional 36 lots, that is Phase 1 Batch 2, also were handed over to contractors. And these 36 are being remediated currently. comprised of 2 project activities, namely soil remediation works, and 7 are assessment of groundwater, and the balance of that 29 are remediation of the impacted soil.
President Muhammadu Buhari says Nigeria loses about $26.3 billion annually to various forms of criminality, particularly piracy and sea robbery. Buhari said this on Tuesday while performing the inauguration of Falcon Eye Project, Nigeria's Navy's strategic maritime surveillance system in the naval headquarters, Abuja. Represented by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Buhari said securing Nigeria's shipping lanes is crucial to the nation's economic interests. The president said in recent years, some threats within Nigeria's maritime environment had taken more harmful dimensions to the economy and even safety of citizens and commercial entities which used maritime domain.
And it encompasses activities ranging from fisheries, resource exploration, to marine research, shipping, among other areas. Of all these activities, shipping stands out as a critical link in Nigeria's international trade engagement because it's the cheapest and most efficient way of moving large volumes of goods. So given our economic aspirations and our commitment to international trade, ensuring the security of shipping lanes within the proximate waters is in our national interest. In addition, all of our oil and gas resources, which are largely domiciled in the maritime environment, remain the mainstay of our economy, and it accounts for over 55% of GDP measured in different, and 70% of our export earnings today.
Coming up after the break, sponsor of controversial media bill suspends legislative action. Do stay. Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the Trust TV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search Trust TV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
My name is Samuel Dada.
Yakubu Isa, ana mana kabi da jeje.
Aminu Musa.
A wannan harkar ce muke dan samun abinci, an muke taimaka mu wasu da yawa.
Looking for private jobs. Sometimes you get employed and the process of payment, you undergo some kind of stress.
Thanks for staying with us. Here's a recap of our top stories. Gunmen kill 3 in Anambra, set vehicles ablaze. Nigeria earmarks $1 billion for Ogoni land cleanup project. And on health matters, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency says Nigeria has officially ended first phase of its strategic COVID-19 vaccination plan and now is preparing to commence second phase. Executive Director Faisal Shuaib said this at a news conference in Abuja. The executive also said Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine is 88% potent against the Delta variant detected in the country. The COVID-19 Vaccines Global Access Facility is an initiative co-led by Vaccine Alliance, Gavi, and the World Health Organization to ensure equitable access to COVID-19 vaccines by dividing about 2 billion doses across 92 low- and middle-income countries. In the same vein, Nigeria's Center for Disease Control has recorded 154 new COVID-19 cases. The NCDC disclosed this on its official website on Wednesday morning. New infections indicate a decline from the 161 cases recorded a day earlier. NCDC said Lagos State is epicenter of the deadly virus, recorded 119 cases, followed by Akwa Ibom 11, Rivers 6, Ekiti 4, Ogun 4, and FCT and Gombe reported 2 each, while Kwara State registered 1. The center noted that 147 people who recovered from the infection have been discharged from isolation centers across the country. Member of the House of Representatives and sponsor of the controversial Nigeria Press Council bill, Olusegun Odebumi, says the media cannot force the House to drop any bill before it. Odebumi, who represents Ogooluwa Surulere Federal Constituency in Oyo State, said he was suspending the process of the NPC bill to allow for further consultations on it. The lawmaker said he did not hold any consultation with industry stakeholders before presenting the bill to the House, and also noted that the idea behind the bill is not to gag media, but to correct some of the ills currently plaguing the industry and to ensure code of ethics to guide practitioners. Rice farming is the main occupation and largest source of income for residents and farmers across Kebbi State in northwest Nigeria. However, farmers say government's inability to intervene is gradually killing rice farming in this part of the country. In this special report, correspondent Idris Jibrin visited some parts of Kebbi State where rice farming is booming.
The second rice season has come to an end, and the third is just beginning. Muhammad Sanusi and many other farmers have been looking forward to this moment. But this year the harvest has been poor and more bad news awaits.
In fact, somebody that can boast of having hundreds of bags could not even get a bag. So you can see the situation farmers find themselves in, and this has seriously affected even the practice this year.
It's usually an all year round of at least 3 times harvest, but this year the harvest can only be twice for obvious reasons.
Government has to subsidize agriculture. Without government subsidizing agriculture, the price of food has to go higher. Nigeria has over 200 million people. Out of these 200 million people, only around 50 million are farmers who are engaged in real farm activity. Now, their sweat has to be taken, look into. The way to look into is to subsidize. If a bag of fertilizer is sold at 15,000 naira, government should buy it and give farmers at 5,000 naira.
The inadequate capital, the lack of modern farming equipment and fertilizer, among other challenges, are gradually killing rice farming in northern Nigeria.
We are appealing to the government to come to our rescue. People have lost a lot. We are appealing to the government to be sympathetic to us. We are in dire need of help.
According to Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria in Kebbi State, the Anchor Borrowers Program has yielded much needed results, but there are still many lapses to cover if the state is to realize its full potentials on rice production. It was here that the rice pyramid was first set up to show the availability of the product in Kebbi State. But today, there is no more rice to showcase, but it can still be found in various markets across Kebbi State. Meanwhile, farmers believe that unless government begins to consider subsidizing the inputs, this place may likely continue to remain an empty open ground. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News,
birnin Kebbi.
And on the foreign scene, China's promise to attain carbon neutrality before 2060 is praiseworthy as the country's march to halt carbon dioxide emission in 2030 is on the right track. An expert on international water law from Netherlands and a professor at Wuhan University, Otto Spijkas, gave the remarks on the sidelines of the Eco Forum Global 2021, which opens in southwest China's Guizhou province.
Government has made are very generous and very ambitious. So I look forward to seeing them implemented, and I do believe that China is on the right track. I find it interesting, for example, the way the local government is trying to protect the species of fish in the Yangtze River, for example, by very strictly regulating fishing in the Yangtze River. I think that is a very interesting new development to basically prohibit commercial fishing in the Yangtze River for a certain time. So I'm from a very small country, the Netherlands. So there's only about 17 million people in the Netherlands. That's almost as big as the city of Wuhan. Because China is such a big country, everything that China does has huge consequences. So if China drastically boosts its environmental protection efforts, that has consequences globally. In my speech to the conference, I wanted to emphasize the importance of global solidarity. It's about pursuing the common interest or the community's interest. I'm making this comparison between the global solidarity that is shown in the fight against the coronavirus, and my hope is that a similar kind of solidarity we may witness in our fight against climate change and our fight against this biodiversity loss.
Still on foreign stories, a bus carrying Chinese and Pakistani construction workers on a slippery mountainous road in northwest Pakistan fell into a ravine Wednesday, killing at least 13 people, including 9 Chinese nationals, officials said. At least 36 people were also injured in the apparent accident in the Kohistan district of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, said Arif Javid, a deputy district commissioner. The incident happened on a wet road following an overnight rain, but Pakistani officials were still investigating, and the Chinese embassy said in a statement the bus was attacked. Chinese engineers and construction workers are helping Pakistan build a dam in Kohistan. Javid said the Pakistani and Chinese construction workers were on their way to the project site when the accident happened. Asim Abbasi, an assistant commissioner in Kohistan, said authorities believe the incident was an accident but were investigating whether there was some type of explosion in the bus. And in sports, tennis player Roger Federer says he is pulling out of Tokyo Olympic Games due to knee injury. Roger Federer made the announcement on Tuesday afternoon that he plans to return to the ATP Tour later in the year following rehabilitation work with his team. Federer won a silver in the singles at London 2012, and a gold in doubles with Stan Wawrinka back in 2008. However, after 2 knee operations during 2020, his body is not in the right place for another Olympic medal bid. Federer joined several other male players who will not be taking part in the event, which starts on Saturday, August 24, behind closed doors. Prior to the Wimbledon, Rafael Nadal took the decision to withdraw from the championships and the Olympic Games in order to try and extend his time in the game. And that wraps up our news update. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. I am Dashan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.